got Tony Hinchcliffe as a pinch hitter for this week's drip. Have you seen what happened? Did you see what's been going on with Hinchcliffe?
No, I don't know about Hinchcliffe. I don't know about Hinchcliffe.
So you react live. I've kind of already seen it and gotten accustomed to it. So you're going to react live to what we're about to see here today.
I mean, Hinchcliffe is like, he's mean. And I don't think, like, unless if he didn't touch anyone, I'm gonna say this: if he didn't touch anyone,
what do you think it was?
I think he's a mean guy. He's like mean, like his tongue is sharp, and it hurts people's feelings. And I think if that's what it is, then I don't think Hinchcliffe gives a shit, dude. I think it's gonna be a badge of honor for him. Oh my god, TMZ's coming
TMZ, dude. TMZ got him.
Oh my
TMZ
god.
Oh, comedian Tony Hinchcliffe makes racist jokes about Asian MC.
Oh no, this could get you.
Let's watch. Comedians and their jokes, huh?
Yeah.
Give it up for the one and only Tony Hinchcliffe.
Hello, good evening, welcome, hello. How about one more time for the filthy little fucking that was just up here? While all you fucking race traitors are whooping and hollering, I'm back there watching you puking in a fucking bucket. Oh, we make it a gunpowder. Oh, you want extra soy sauce. Oh, you borrow money from us. And you guys just eating it up, you fucking pussy.
Hinchcliffe.
What do you think?
What do you think? I mean, what? It's a live show. They paid and they came. And they're all like, okay, I gotta see what the reaction was to the Asian comic, and then what the reaction was, because the crowd looked like they're into it. But you know, are you looking for me to say that no matter what the comedy show is, no matter what the context, you can never do that? Is that what? Like,
no, I want your live reaction. I have my own take. I've already sort of processed this.
That's what Hinchcliffe is, like a mean, like he's a mean kind of aggressive, like he's mean. And that's kind of what you're hiring him for. And this is a style of comedy that's like roasty kind of comedy. So I don't know. I'm not dying on Hinchcliffe's cross. Fucking cancel him. I don't give a shit.
No, dude.
I'm just saying, like, morally, in the eyes of God, is it righteous or not? It's a tough one, dude. You can do.
Well,
I feel like
here's the update. He got dropped from his management agency in like 2 seconds. So he's like not represented. And then Joe Rogan, apparently there was a bill for him to get on like this show. He was like co-hosting with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan like immediately said,
Okay. I think you have to have a slap on the wrist. You have to have a talk. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's what this is. I think in a year, he'll be opening with Joe Rogan again. Like, I don't think this is like a D'Elia where he had sex with a 17-year-old. I think.
Well, people are comparing it to Michael Kramer.
People think it's that bad, eh? Wow.
No, that's what some people are saying. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's clearly not motivated by hate. I think it's motivated by shock, racial comedy. I think what people are actually mad at is that it wasn't funny. Yeah, it's funny how, like, if you say something, it, like, you can code it in a way that's funny, but then you can also come on stage and, like, the way he did it just seems so mean-spirited. And then it was about his MC, which I thought was, like, crazy. It's like, this guy's like, hey, give it up for Amish Patel. And you're like, who is this, you know?
I know, but that's why I'm saying, like, I got to hear what the other guy was saying. Like, if the other guy's
well, that's the unfair thing is the clip's not online. I've looked everywhere for it. I cannot find the full clip. I would rather play you the full clip. I'd rather give the people the full context.
I know. Of course, we always want to. Like, think of the difference between if the Asian guy's just doing clean comedy, like he just does clean comedy, doesn't even reference the fact that he's Asian, and then Hinchcliffe comes on and does this. That's no.
Apparently,
racist.
he was doing a bunch of like stop Asian hate jokes. I think it was like a play on that guy's set.
Yeah, it was a play on that guy's set, and he was acting like he was almost coming up and being like, "You guys are racist. You got all excited for that guy's racist Asian jokes or whatever. So you guys are racist." Like, that's kind of what he was going for, but he never really, you know, like he didn't do that part of the joke. Like, you're supposed to be like, you guys are like this, you know, like, I'm not saying that makes it okay or whatever, but like it's hard to tell if he's saying it or if he's like, look at you assholes, you guys are like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm torn about it because I don't want to be the one saying that, like, look, this is the guy. Well, he posted the clip himself. He like posted it and basically was like, he's the one who got basically Tony in trouble.
Oh yeah, no, then it's fair. Then it's fair because if the opener is like, I don't even know you, because no, comics are assholes, dude. And Hinchcliffe is he's a mean guy. And there's guys in Toronto like this. They're big bullies, dude. They're jerks. And there's even younger comics who tell me like, that guy is mean to me every time. And I'm like, yeah, they're just assholes.
Have you had any interactions with Tony?
So I did have an interaction with him. Okay, so we both did a Kevin Hart's thing a couple of years ago at Just for Laughs, and we got in the minivan after, because when you go to Just for Laughs, the city's so crazy that they give you drivers, and everywhere they're giving you free booze. So they give you drivers, and then they give you walkers.
So what about the Tony part though? Wait, so you got.
So anyway, after the show, we're all getting in this minivan to take us all back to our hotels.
Okay, got it.
So we're all in the minivan, and there's this guy from. I hate to do this, Canada.
Do it.
Who's like a really weird guy, right? He's a strange guy, whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's a guy in the back seat and these guys are like 20 years old, but there's a guy in the back seat who's like kind of nervous and scared, whatever. And sitting beside him is Hinchcliffe, and Hinchcliffe goes, "Hey man, do you know Tony over here? You know, Tony's one of the biggest up and coming LA's new agents in LA." That's what he says to me, right? So then this guy starts going into his credits and like what he's done, whatever. And at first I can't tell. And then he names like the shittiest comic, dude. Like the weirdest, shittiest comic. Like the weirdest guy. And then he goes, so he says all his credits, and then he goes, yeah. Do you know Kevin Stevens or whatever? Like,
yeah,
just
right.
Dumbest guy.
Random
Do you know Kevin Stevens? I signed him last week. And I was like, oh, Hinchcliffe, you're just ripping this guy. I had no idea. Like the whole ride, Hinchcliffe's ripping this guy, but he doesn't even know, and I don't even know. We got to the end. I was like, oh, this guy's like a nobody. It's like Hinchcliffe is just roasting him.
It's a next level roast.
It's like a next level roast.
Yeah, well, that's sort of what he does. Like, here's the problem. Before this, I hadn't really watched too much of his special or his stand up. But what I know about him, he runs some kind of a show where it's like a roast.
Yeah.
People who do roasts, they're constantly looking for like the meanest thing about you, and then it's also a lot of it's like, what is the identity of this guy that I can tear apart and like trash? So it's the guy's Asian, so he's like, all right, I'm going to trash him for being Asian. I'm not saying it's highbrow comedy or anything like that. Yeah. But then, I don't know.
They do weight, too. They do weight. So if you're overweight and you do a roast show, you're supposed to just be like, this guy's so fat, whatever. Like, that's how roast Joe.
Yeah, and so the guy does an Asian set, and then he makes... I'm not saying it's funny. It wasn't funny, but it's like... I just don't... Look, here's one thing that pisses me off. When management drops people so quick... Yeah. I don't mind, like, if you see that, you go, I'm never going to go see Tony again. Yeah, it's like, that's fine. Whatever. It's your prerogative. But when your management drops you, these are the people who's supposed to be in your corner. So imagine you're a fighter and you take one to the chin, baby. You take it. It's hard. Yeah. And you're stunned. It's stone cold stunner. And you look behind you, your corner's gone. They left the building. As soon as you got knocked, they go, hey, I'm not supporting this guy anymore.
I'm out.
That's kind of thing. I'm like, you're still in the fight. The fight has not been decided. Nothing like.
I know, but what if you're working for a guy and then you realize he's just a I don't know, he's a murderer.
This is not. Look, my initial take was like, Tony's not. I mean, that's not any evidence of him being racist. Now there is another clip that I did find, which I expect will probably surface soon. So I thought Yeah, it's been circulating as well. I thought I'd show it to you. This one, honestly, I think is worse.
He's aggressive, dude. These guys are so aggressive. I call it, okay, so in stand-up comedy, it's like high school. You know how in high school there's different cliques, right? He's part of the angry white. I call it the angry white guys, the happy white guys. Then there's the black people. Then there's the Asians. Then there's like, there's like whatever. The gay guys, lesbians, they have their little crew. It's like high school, right? He's part of the white asshole crew, and they're all constantly trying to out asshole each other. Just that half. Then there's another white, like, sweetheart crew. They're into like alt comedy more. They're really nice. They're almost like compensating. They're super sweet. But then there is a crew, and they all want to be like, they all think they're Bill Burr, but they're not funny yet. So they're just being inappropriate all the time. Like, they're just like roasting each other. They're bad. They're hard to do business with. Like, I know guys in Toronto that just talk this shit to the club owner, and the club owner's like, well, fuck you then. I don't want you to come back here. Whatever. Like,
sure.
Happens a lot. So it is an aggressive crowd. They're toxic, man.
Well, let's watch before you make any judgments. Let's just hear the clip, because I just thought I'd add context so I don't, we don't defend him. We need the full context.
By the way, I would watch every episode of The Fighter and the Kid in Chinese.
Right? I cry on the Comedy Central. I finally have my chance to riva my dreamer, and I cry like a baby.
It's so bad.
It's no, you can't.
No, because I'm only laughing because when I saw this, I was like, this is BS. Tony, he's getting canceled for no reason. And then I saw this clip, I go, well.
Yeah, no, you can't. Like, this is just everyone. It's like saying the N-word. We've all agreed. Everyone's agreed. Dude, imagine we're doing the show and I just start dropping N-bombs here. You'd be like, like we'd stop. You'd stop. You'd be like, we can't. Like, it's too much. This is this is a lot, I guess. But what do you do if you're in this situation? Do you leave? Like, let's just say I started busting this accent right now. What do you do, Steven? What's your move?
No, because I know your heart. I know you're not like that. So we try to course correct. Listen.
Yeah. You just say, hey, this
who
is
who hasn't said things they shouldn't say, who hasn't made jokes they shouldn't make.
Right.
You course correct people. You say, look, hey, Tony, maybe don't do that. No, mostly because it's not funny. Like,
it's over now. You can't.
It's actually funny just how outlandish it is, but like you can't.
I guess so. Yeah, it's like Gavin McInnes. I remember his channel was like this all the time, dude. Every Gavin McInnes channel after he left Vice, always Chinese boys. He says like all the words, all of the N-word, everything. Yeah, and then they're like, "What? What did I do?" They're always like,
you just course correct. It's fine. And like, dude, I think there's a place for edgy comedy. I'm not one of those people that's like, there's no. I think, look, you just go out to see Tony Hinchcliffe. You know what you're getting yourself into.
That's what I was saying. Like, there is a little bit to say about context because it's like, but I don't know if look.
No, there's everything to say about context. Like the thing is that wasn't a funny joke, but it's clear that this guy's not a racist dude. I mean, I think it's clear. I just go into the assumption that like this guy's probably not a racist, right?
Yeah, no, I don't think he thinks about that far. I think he just thinks
it's just a joke. Like, let me get a laugh.
It seems funny to me right now.
Yeah.
I don't think he's like wishing ill on anyone or because it's only on the comedy level. There are people who go that extra step and they're just like, you know, like the virus came from there too. Like they'll add on. He's not doing anything like that. Everything's meaningless, and it's just he thinks it'll get a laugh because he's like this kind of shock roast comic.
And also this clip is very old. I mean, like, look at the camera. This is a very old clip. How can we do this?
What? This is when the fighter this is during podcasting era though.
It's several years old. Probably
several
like
years,
3 or
yeah,
4 or 5 years old.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So yeah, what is our determination here, Amish? Tony Hinchcliffe, canceled, not canceled?
It's not like, look, man. As long as he doesn't go and just do Chris D'Elia's show now and go and own, like, you know, some people get canceled and they're like, okay, bye. And then they're like on Chris D'Elia's show, they're doing Gavin McInnes, and Ben Shapiro takes them always. Ben Shapiro will take any of these guys. All those guys, they'll take them in the name of like free speech. They'll just take them, right? So if he goes there, then basically he left himself. It's like, I don't want to be part of this anymore. I'm out. If he doesn't do that, then I think cancel culture on people like him is just like a slap on the wrist. A year, he loses all his gigs. He's going to do something to make it up to everyone.
That's so dumb, though. It is such like a... Look, I feel like the guy took a big swing for the fences, and he made a massive mess. Is he a douchebag? Definitely. And just from your anecdotal experience...
He's so douchey.
It sounds like he is.
He's a mean guy.
But that doesn't make him a racist. I hate like all this like racist undertone. Like you're a racist now.
Right. That you're almost giving him too much credit. He just hates you for you. Like he wants to rip and dip. He wants to rip you, and he's just looking at you. Whatever he can find, he takes that and he goes, "Okay, I'm gonna say the worst thing about that."
But I think, look, I'm cool if people are like, "Hey, dude, that makes me not like this guy." That's fine. It pisses me off when these management companies pretend like they never knew you. That makes me just so mad. Those are the guys who should be in your corner. They're supposed to be. It bothers me. It doesn't bother me when crowds get angry because the crowd doesn't know the person. So when the crowd gets angry, it's like, that's totally natural. But when the friends of the person go, oh, great guy, never met him. Hey, that Tony Hinchcliffe guy? Sure, he's a great guy. Never met him, though.
I mean, are they doing never met him, or they're saying we didn't know, so we're cutting him off. We're out.
Well, no, that's a joke. That's a joke, though. It's like what people say. It's like great guy, never met him. Obviously,
great guy, never met him.
Yeah.
I guess you know what they do. They probably call him because it is it is Hollywood people who, remember we were saying this last time too. It's like they're not. I don't want to say they're spineless, but they're kind of efficient in that like they just don't fight. So if the fight on this side's heavy, like the cancel people are so aggressive and mean that they're just like. All right, I'm just gonna go with them then. Like, it's just like bottom line, like what's efficient for my day,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, do I go with Tony Hinchcliffe or do I go? And then they have a roster and they have everyone else signed.
But I'm just saying I don't like when people
drop your ass like that.
Well, yeah, like who like literally are contractually obligated to have your back.
That's interesting. That's a good point. It's like you're contractually obligated. So do your job. And come
like
up with
also
something
they should
and
have
say,
some relationship with you. It's like that always it just makes me think there are no true friends in this world. There are no true friends. Like all it is just about, hey, it's purely about my career. I have to sacrifice you. Like no,
What about the idea that the management company says, we do not agree with what he said. We're going to send him to sensitivity training. We're going to send him to this counseling that tells him like, hey, take it easy on the anger management. Take it easy on this and that, whatever.
What are you talking about? Comedians? You want to go to an anger management class?
They need it, dude.
That's
It's
dumb.
not good for them.
That's so dumb.
It's not good for them.
No.
But I'm telling you, it makes them toxic too. That's the thing. They're not like, you can't have 5,000 of you all trying to do this. I don't know that they're not. Like,
By the way, here's the same poster.
Yeah.
Real quick.
I know. Yeah. That's Joe Rogan dropped it. That hurts, when Joe Rogan drops your ass, you're like,
It could be.
It's
It
a
could
big
be.
sign
It
in
could
the
be
comedy
the creek in the cave who did it. I mean, it could just be the person who was posting it.
Yeah, maybe they did. But
But
I think they just you go through when this happens and you just have people erase Tony Hinchcliffe from your website. Like if
watch
you have
Spotify will delete every episode with Tony Hinchcliffe. They're gonna be like, hey, we can't.
Oh yeah, they got to do that. Yeah, well they did that with Delete, I guess. He was on some TV show and then they had to like delete episodes from it or whatever.
Yeah, I guess there's two elements to this. Like, there's the element of what he said, which is like really nasty and douchey, whatever, and wasn't funny. There's also the element of just the culture generally, where it's like, oh yeah, it's just kind of like it's overreacting.
Yeah. What's the recourse on this? Like is there any recourse? Like, is there legal? Like, what do? You just say like, I was offended. You tell everyone. And if everyone
you're who,
gets
if
together,
you're who,
like if you're one of these people that got offended, if you're the guy who opened for him and he said it, like the guy who opened for him, and like, dude, this is what I mean by like these guys are toxic, where it's like they're like they don't know who they're talking to half the time. Like I'm talking about even guys that I know. And like we're talking about like they're ruining relationships. They can't work in TV shit. I can't go to a TV thing and even recommend half of them because they might start talking shit. They might be like, you're stupid. I'm not doing this shit anymore. You're an idiot. They're like, that's what I mean by like send them to some goddamn anger management. Like I'm saying their management company should come out with a statement saying like he fucked up. We don't agree with him. And we're gonna fix him up and he'll come back out.
That's like what happens when anytime anyone gets in like some kind of sexual scandal or something like that, like they have like a Bill Cosby thing. Like if you get Bill Cosby'd, they go, he's been going to therapy, he's been working on himself. Like that's what they say. That's the big statement.
And look, in the case of Bill Cosby, I don't think he ever gets to come back ever. But there's a great quote this is by Donald Glover. We're getting boring stuff and not even experimental mistakes because people are afraid of getting canceled. That's from Donald Glover. So there is, I do feel like there is some sense of like, okay, there's some people that hurt someone physically and they have to be canceled, done. Then there's a guy who said something wrong. Okay, counseling, that's the road, man. You got to work with
counseling for saying something wrong?
Or whatever it is, like whatever. Okay, but
no, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Your boys come check you. They say, hey, look, probably not cool. Move on. You learn, you move on.
Yeah, not cool. Give him a slap on the wrist. Give him like let him suffer a little bit financially, and he has to, I guess it sets him back a couple of years, even if he does keep going, because now he has to like go back and rebuild these contacts and do something to say sorry. Almost, I've seen people come back from this stuff.
Sometimes, I feel like our culture has shifted though, in the sense of more and more. It does feel like context in certain circumstances is beyond mattering. It's just like you don't even bring it up. Do you get that sense as well?
I do get that sense.
I'm not saying that should be the way it is. I'm just saying that seems to be more and more the way it is. When anyone can Twitter clip you out of context does not, I mean, it's not going to help you saying, hey, look at the context, because they're just, I mean, like,
Fair enough. But like, look, the fact that the opener is pissed to me says like, you fucked up. Because, in cases like this, other comics will come to your defense and be like, hey man, it's a show. This is what we do, whatever. The guy opening,
Right.
if he's the one who complained about it, then I think like definitely deserves a slap on the wrist. But that's what I mean by like because you can't have a cancel for this equal to a cancel for like having sex with a 16-year-old. It's ridiculous. There's got to be some system.
It's not. But he definitely did get dropped by management.
He did, but I'm saying like ultimately to me this is like a 2-year break.
He's gonna be fine.
I think he'll be fine. Like I think,
dude,
even Joe Rogan in 2 years will be like, okay, come back, let's talk about it. Like
whatever happened to back in the day when you like said something really stupid and people go, hey, not cool. You go home that night, you reflect on it, you go, that's right, that's true. I'm just gonna like change, like course correct on that.
Yeah, but these guys don't want to do that though. Hinchcliffe will never admit and never say I'm going to course correct. This is what I mean by they are kind of toxic too.
Oh,
because they have a like I'll never apologize mentality. A lot of these guys, you know, like so it's part of the game. It's like you're douchey, but it is toxic. And like you look at Bill Burr now, he talks about this a lot. He calls it his anger management issues, but he says that once he overcame them and started going to therapy, this, that, whatever. Married, got with his wife.
Cali lib, dude. You belong.
I know,
I'm
such a lib, but dude, Bill Burr said
everyone in California, the third word out of their mouth, you know what it is?
Yeah.
Therapy.
Oh, you mean like Charlemagne the God? Dude, you know Charlemagne the God has been saying black men need to go to therapy, and like it's changed my life. It's really helped me. It's it's really good for you, man. There's a lot of issues that people need to work out. So better to work it out than to start lashing out in the culture like this. Hinchcliffe.
Let's read the comments over here on the Hinchcliffe thing. Hinchcliffe is known for being an arrogant Hollywood douche, totally feels above everyone, and feels that everyone is not more famous than him.
He's a big jerk, man. He's mean, dude. He is mean.
But that doesn't make you racist, right? Just like being mean doesn't make you,
Look, whatever your thing is, he'll be mean on that. So that's honestly what I think, though. Like, if I'm being real with you guys, he just chose Asian because the guy was Asian. The crowd, I don't know if the crowd was Asian or not, but the guy was Asian. So he just chose to rip on that. Weird, though, they obviously aren't friends. So it's like, but this happens, man.
I'm a scammer. Gonna rip you off, take you down.